Hi church family, I hope that you're all safe and keeping well. We find ourselves in a time when many things are in chaos and very few things have any certainty about them. So let me encourage you right now to have a seat and take a deep breath as I encourage you with just a great, timely, reassuring verse from the Bible. It's Psalm 16 verse 8, which says, "I keep my eyes always on the Lord. With him at my right hand, I will not be shaken." Right now we're in danger of not doing that. Instead, we keep our eyes constantly on our news feeds, our TV screens, all the latest social media comments. And if we keep doing that, we'll become more anxious and more fearful and more discouraged. We will be shaken. But if we keep our eyes always on the Lord, with him at our right hand, we will not be shaken. It's a great reminder, great encouragement. Right now we need one another more than ever. A phone call, a text, a word of encouragement can just make such a difference. But things are changing rapidly, and even this Sunday, when we do church at home for the second time, we're not going to be able to meet in groups in the same way as we did last Sunday. This week it'll basically be family households together. We're very keen to follow the government guidelines, which increasingly are discouraging face-to-face gatherings of any kind. Well, that just means that we need to continue to think differently, creatively about how we can increase our connectivity in the face of these necessary restrictions. There was a great message from Simon last Sunday on fruitfulness, and this week Sue Ford will be bringing us a message on hospitality. And once again, there'll be worship resources and children's activities that will tie in with the message. And so can I encourage you once again to make a plan for this Sunday morning, not only to gather your family together, but to make good use of the various video conferencing tools available like Zoom and Skype to connect with friends or with your small group. And shortly in a written communication, we'll send around some tips on how to set up those platforms. And if all that seems too hard, just pick up the phone on Sunday morning and chat with someone about the message. And let's be especially mindful of those who are on their own. Be sure to include them. Remember, we're all in this together. God bless you all. Now let's take a look at this clip, which I'm sure will be a great encouragement to you.
The church has often been called a hospital for the sick. And the Western world is more sick than ever before. Not just with COVID-19, but with a pandemic of fear.
Likely end up infecting most people in the world.
Very concerning.
You're concerned?
Very.
Coronavirus panic shopping.
Yet for the first Sunday in history, many church buildings look like this.
The virus has church after church
Dozens canceled Sunday services because of the outbreak.
Will be suspended.
What does this mean for the church and for the world? If the church is a building, then what happens when they're closed? If it's an event, then what happens when they're cancelled? And how do we respond in a world that has never looked so shaken? But could this actually be the church's finest hour? To be what the Bible calls us to be? Because the church isn't a building, and it's not an event. You see, even in the midst of this unprecedented global pandemic,
I just want one pack.
this is the church.
There's no toilet paper in the entire store. We're handing out toilet paper. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
In the midst of the fear, this is the church. In the midst of isolation,
We need to talk about more.
this is the church. The church is awakening. The church is resilient. The church is adapting and discovering new expressions for the gospel to reach further than ever before.
We've got a total lockdown. Our church, we're going to gather over Zoom, and then we're actually going to FaceTime our friends and family and share the gospel.
I'm checking to see if my neighbors need supplies or prayer, and I'm also using Facebook to reach out to those that I can't get to.
Driving home on street corners.
Where fear seems to be crippling, there is a hope in Jesus Christ.
Everyone can do this right now.
Be the church.
In a troubled world that needs Christ, it's time to be his hands and feet. Christians, it's time to be the church.